Hello again, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Southern States Wrestling Classics. Beau James here to bring you the action on New Year's Eve 2017. We get ready to close out our 26th year of operation of Southern States Wrestling. Looking forward to the 27th year coming up of SSW, and it's going to be my 30th year involved in professional wrestling. So 2018 is looking like it's going to be a year to remember for all of us involved here. A lot of stuff in the works. Just keep checking out our social media. Keep watching us here on the Classics each and every week. And this week we're going to go back and take a look at some of the international stars that have came through Southern States Wrestling over the year. We're going to kick off the program going all the way back to August of 1992. We're going to take a look at a man that was known as the Wild Samoan here in Southern States Wrestling. In Fuller, Southeastern, and Continental, he was known as the Man-Eater from New Guinea. In ICW, ran by the Poffo family, he was known as Elijah Nick. And all the boys just called him Big Nick. And we called him that for a reason. So let's go back to Kingsport, Tennessee, August 1992. Is one of our homegrown up-and-comers right here from East Tennessee, Skyfire, who would go on to be in WCW, WWE, and ECW as Easy Money. Has a big task in front of him as he takes on the Wild Samoan and his manager, L.E. Ward.
Champion. It's going to be a tough one. You're going to see brute strength and bulk against speed.
And I tell you what, Skyfire, he has got the strength, and the Wild Samoan's got the bulk, and he can really move with that 405 pounds.
He absolutely can. The fans are calling L.E. Ward Weasel, and it looks like he's getting a little bit upset.
I tell you what, Ward don't like to be called Weasel, and it's already starting to tear him up, and the match hasn't even begun, really.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know who's the worst, him or Big Al Bass.
That's a fact. I tell you what, Al was really going on about himself out here a while ago, about how great he was. He's got Legend Clan and all that, and I tell you, Al, he really thinks he's the best going today.
Yeah, he's got a little ego problem. Sure does. His uncle, Sam Bass, was wrestling when I was wrestling. And Sam always had a little bit of an ego too, so I guess Al comes by it naturally.
Yeah, he does. And I tell you, Sam Bass was a tough man, and Al's just following in the footsteps.
Yeah, I defended the Mid-South title against Sam one night, and I'll tell you what, he wasn't a big guy, but he really knew his wrestling, and he knew every trick in the book.
And boy, they wasn't too clean at that, I tell you.
No, they sure weren't.
He brought everything in the ring with him but the kitchen sink. Sometimes I think he brought that.
That's exactly right, and this Samoan's very capable of the same thing. See him move there, the Samoan went into the hair of Skyfire.
I tell you, this is a good match. And Skyfire, I believe he's a little baffled at the size of the Samoan.
Yeah, I think that he's trying to determine right now, you know, Skyfire's a high-flying type wrestler. He does a lot of aerial maneuvers. He's trying to determine if he thinks that'll work on the Samoan with the Samoan size.
But with the Samoan, Ken, he's going to have to wear him down before he goes to any of those top rope maneuvers, or the Samoan will take him home quick.
That's exactly right. I'll tell you, I don't envy Skyfire at all. I've wrestled against them. You've heard of the McGuire twins years ago.
Oh, man, I remember them well.
They were over 500 pounds each, and you get in there against a guy like that with that size, and it really can baffle you. There's just no way you can really wrestle him.
That's a fact. They're kind of circling each other now. Now they're in a referee's position. Skyfire goes to a twist on the arm. He's got it in tight, Ken.
Yeah, he has. He's going to work on weakening that arm and hopefully wear them big man down a little bit. The longer this match goes, the better it's going to be for Skyfire.
Because as big as the Wild Samoan is, that weight's going to take its toll on the big man. He's going to run out of air really fast.
Oh, yes, he definitely will. And I think as the match wears on, I think if the Samoan doesn't take Skyfire out rather quickly, you're going to see Skyfire really come alive.
Wild Samoan takes him into the ropes now. Beautiful backdrop. That hurt the vertebrae in the back, I guarantee you.
Oh yeah, he's going to have trouble getting out of bed in the morning after that one. You know, another added advantage to the Samoan is the man on the outside of the ring there, the Weasel.
That's right, L.E. Ward. He can sure draw the referee's attention. And the Wild Samoan can take those shortcuts and get him a clear-cut victory.
Yeah, it may well be what you see here tonight.
I tell you what, they're going to the working on the back. He started with a backdrop off the ropes. Up, Skyfire comes up. When you slap across those ears, oh man, that hurts.
Oh yeah, but the Samoan took another shortcut to the eyes. Now he's got the upper hand.
Oh, he's starting using those chops to the head, and I tell you what, that'll weaken anybody.
Oh yeah.
Skyfire's tied up in the ropes now, Ken. That'll give the Wild Samoan a chance to do a lot of things.
Yeah, you can see the Weasel drawing the referee's attention there too. So he doesn't even get a start on the 5 count until the referee turns around.
Oh yeah. Wild Samoan looks like he's biting the man's head a little bit.
Yeah, he's got Skyfire in trouble now. Let's see if he can take him out.
Skyfire's really got to suck it up now, Ken.
He sure does.
Oh, those chops down across the neck that way, oh, right into the trapezius muscles.
Yeah, and the carotid artery's right in that area too, so that can take a lot of sap out of Skyfire.
Samoan could be setting him up for a sleeper hold.
Yeah, he may be. He has a hold on him now that Skyfire just broke that they used to call a Mexican vampire hold.
Right.
There was a masked wrestler years ago that used that for a finishing hold, Mighty Yankee.
Oh, he was a tough customer too. I remember him well. Wild Samoan covers Skyfire.
Skyfire needs to come out of it and end this thing rather quickly if he's going to, because I'll tell you what, that Samoan, he's always got something up his sleeve.
With this reverse headlock like this, the weight of the Wild Samoan really helps on Skyfire.
Yeah, it sure does. When he puts that weight behind the hold, I'll tell you, it's just like he's twice as strong as he normally is.
That's right.
And you know, he's aptly named the Wild Samoan. You know, when the person, when they're wild, when they're mentally imbalanced, I'll tell you that adrenaline flows, and it really just makes them kind of superhuman.
Yeah, it does. And that side headlock Skyfire's in right now, he needs to pair out, and he's trying to right now. Oh, that kick to the back. He's staying on the back, Ken.
Yeah, he's a crafty veteran. He knew exactly where to go to keep Skyfire at bay there and keep him from reversing that hold on him.
You got the 5 points of balance. You got the 2 arms, 2 legs, and a head. You take one of those out, you're going to get a win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was some clothesline by the Samoan, too.
Of course.
I wonder how old this Samoan is. I know he's been around for years and years. He was wrestling back in the days when I was active.
Right. I don't know how old he is, but boy, he's ring savvy, I tell you. Oh, man.
That's 406 pounds.
Right across a man's abdomen.
Yeah.
Oh, Skyfire's going to be sore in the morning.
He sure is, and he's pushed every bit of wind out of the man's diaphragm now, so Skyfire's going to be slow coming back from that one.
Another chomp down rabbit punch to the back of the neck.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, this Samoan, you never know what to expect.
No, you don't. He's got a mind of his own. Oh, that was a chop and a half.
Yes, it was. It certainly was.
That likes to tore him in two. Backs him in, another chop. Another chop.
Man, you can see the sweat popping off of Skyfire.
Yes, you can. I'll tell you what, I don't envy Skyfire a bit.
I don't either. I was trying to imagine what I would do if I were in the ring now, and the only thing I could think of, you know, that if I were wrestling the Samoan now, I would have to exit the ring a little bit, get my wind back, and then come in and possibly work him up for a finishing hold such as a figure 4. That's about the only way you're going to take this big man out.
Skyfire needs to take the man off his feet, get him down on the mat, wrestle him if he can.
Absolutely, absolutely. And usually the weakest point of a man like that is his legs. If you'll notice, his upper body is huge. His legs are smaller in proportion, so I think the figure 4 would be a good move.
Yeah, I do too. Skyfire's starting to work on him now. Couple kicks to the midsection.
Oh, this crowd's getting into it. They can sense Skyfire.
Wild Samoan off the ropes, dropping to Skyfire. Well, that took Wild Samoan's head off, Ken.
Okay, let's see if he can pin him. Oh, two
count. Skyfire's going to the top.
Here we go, the high-flying young gentleman, Skyfire. Coming off the top rope.
He believes he's got him set up.
Yes, he does. Almost a 3 count. Almost a 3 count.
That was a beautiful high-flying cross-body block. Shoots him in.
There's
Sleeper hold. What's been around for years.
Let's see if he can hold on to it. There's the weasel. Oh no, that's a mistake on Skyfire's part.
The Wild Samoan took advantage of that.
He certainly did. Well, that's the match. That's where the ring experience comes in. The Samoan saw his opening, took advantage of it.
There you saw action from WrestleFest 92 there in Kingsport, Tennessee, as the Wild Samoan went to victory with his manager Ellie Ward over Skyfire. Now we're going to take a short break right here, tell you where you can see upcoming wrestling events around the Appalachian region. When we come back, we're going to take a look at a star from down under. I'm talking about Australians, Ashley Hudson. Welcome back to Southern States Wrestling Classics. Beau James here, and we're ready to move right along as we're going to take a look at another international star that came here. We're going to go back to December of 1998 and see a tough veteran in Scotty McKeever as he took on the man from down under, Ashley Hudson, the Australian star, making his SSW debut in Mountain City, Tennessee, December 1998. Let's take a look at it right now.
Southern States Wrestling, as we've got a fantastic matchup getting ready to get started here, as we've got Ashley Hudson getting set to square off against Scotty McKeever. Referee James McCone has called for the bell, and this matchup is underway here in Southern States Wrestling. Ashley Hudson comes to us from down the land down under, down in Australia, as both men have locked up collar and elbow. Hudson now working the man over with a nice armbar, as McKeever was able to reverse it, and a series of reversals there. As McKeever goes low, Hudson, nice go behind into a hammerlock on Scotty McKeever. McKeever reverses into a nice hammerlock there. And thus far, they're in a nice scientific matchup here in Southern States Wrestling. McKeever makes his way to the ropes. Referee James McCone calls for the break, as Ashley Hudson allowed a nice clean break there from Scotty McKeever. As this ought to be a good matchup here in Southern States Championship Wrestling, fans. I tell you what, don't touch that towel. They've locked up once again, collar and elbow. Hudson pulls his man into a nice side headlock. McKeever shoots his man off, and Hudson right there caught him. Big shoulder block coming in, up and over his man, and McKeever got blocked on that hip toss, and Hudson pulls one of his own. And Scott Hudson right there with a nice deep arm drag by Ashley Hudson on Scotty McKeever, as McKeever is taking a low road and is outside the ring for a moment trying to grab a breather. Complaining to referee James McCone, his tights were pulled in. I certainly didn't see it from my vantage point. As Ashley Hudson comes to us from Australia, competing all across the world here in Southern States Wrestling. And Scotty McKeever hails from West Virginia, and he's here with us in Southern States as well. And Ashley Hudson once again with a nice deep arm drag takeover there. Got his man now in an arm bar, as Ashley Hudson's able to control McKeever at this point in the matchup. And McKeever right there got him a handful of hair, but Hudson was able to move out of the way. And Ashley Hudson with a nice arm drag takeover once again on Scotty McKeever, who's bailed out of the ring one more time, complaining of having his tights pulled. But I think that's more of a stall tactic than anything, as Hudson is a clean competitor. I haven't seen him pull anything dirty, and oh man, what a move! Hudson up and over that top rope, beautiful slingshot plancha right there, as this match is spilled out onto the floor. And McKeever right there, face first into the post. Ashley Hudson's got his man reeling now. Back into the ring is Ashley Hudson up on that second rope, comes across, big forearm shot right to the jaw of Scotty McKeever. As Ashley Hudson's definitely got this matchup well under control at this point in the juncture. Pulls this man in, nice side headlock. McKeever, beautiful belly to back suplex there. Excellent counter to that side headlock as McKeever was able to find his way out of there, and now he needs to try to mount some offense in this matchup. He's got his man up, shoots him in, Irish whip to the far side, caught him right there, big elbow right to the jaw of the man from down under, Ashley Hudson, and a blatant chokehold here at this point. Referee James McKeever in there warning him, blatant chokehold. As Scotty McKeever now has got Hudson over back in the corner. Hard right hand in the abdomen and a second. Oh, McKeever nailed him with a chop. And once again, big chop right to the chest there as Hudson now reverses. Oh! And once again, as that chop echoes through the building, as McKeever got whipped in the ropes. Oh, Hudson right there. Followed him in, rookie mistake. McKeever with a roll-up. Oh, referee James McKeever only got a 2 count out of that one. Man, oh man, I tell you what, the action here in Southern States Wrestling, fast and furious. Nice forearm drop, cover once again, 2 count only. Referee James McKeever right on top of the action, one of the senior officials here in Southern States Wrestling. McKeever missed that attempted elbow. Hudson up and over his man, got him in a sunset flip, and 2 count only. As the man from down under, Ashley Hudson. Oh, McKeever just cleaned his clock right there. And 2 count once again. McKeever now trying to slow the action down with a reverse chin lock. Referee James McKeever checking in to see if he wants to call it quits. As McKeever's cinching in on that reverse chin lock. He's got Hudson grounded at this point. Hudson trying to retain a vertical base. Catches his man right there with an elbow into the abdomen. Once again, and McKeever looks like he went right to the eyes on that one. Scotty McKeever is definitely not known for always following the rules, as he's got his man over the corner, follows in with a couple of hard knees and a hard right hand to the top of the head. Referee James McKeever admonishing him for such actions. Got him in, and 2 count only as Ashley Hudson was able to kick out of that one. McKeever once again trying to ground his man with a reverse chin lock here. This hold basically is used to wear a man down, try to cut the oxygen off, and you cut that oxygen off, that definitely will slow a man down. As McKeever dangerously close to a chokehold. Hudson's firing back, got him with a second elbow, into the ropes, coming across, as Hudson is able to turn it around into a sleeper hold. Ashley Hudson's got him in a sleeper hold. McKeever counters with a nice jawbreaker right there. Scotty McKeever countered with a nice jawbreaker. He's gone up to the second rope, comes across. Oh, man. He missed that attempted leg drop. And I know he's got to be hurting for certain. Both men are hurting. At this point, we're about 6 minutes into this matchup. Hudson caught his man kind of low there. Hard right hand to the side of the head, knocks McKeever down. As Hudson's trying to set his man up. Irish whip across. And caught him right there. Beautiful drop kick. Full extension on that one by Ashley Hudson. Man who hails from down under in Australia. McKeever shot his man off. Oh, Hudson caught him right there. Oh, but McKeever sidestepped him. Dumped him out. As Hudson's trying to make his way back into the action. Caught his man right there with a hard shot. Up and over. Beautiful slingshot leg drop. And referee's in, and we may have it. No, 2 count only. Scotty McKeever was able to get his foot on that bottom rope. Hudson thinks he's won it. McKeever in on his man. Got him on an inside cradle. Hooked the tights. Oh, referee James McKeever saw it. That's some great officiating there by McKeever. Hudson follows his man in, brings his man up off the ropes, rolls him up, and there's a clean 3 count.
G'day Southern States Wrestling, this is Ashley Hudson. I'm from Perth in Western Australia, and I'm looking forward to wrestling in Southern States, Tennessee. I'll be there in Kingsport, Tennessee on March the 13th at the Civic Center. I'm looking forward to it. I want every one of you to come out and see me. Just like the Kangaroos back home, I bounce, I fly, I do whatever it takes to win the matches, and I'm looking forward.
There you saw Ashley Hudson get a big win in his debut. You heard from him as he was talking about March of 1999, the International Cup Tournament. And we're going to take a look right now at the International Cup as Ashley met the Deutschland destroyer, Heinrich Franz Keller, in the first round there in Kingsport, Tennessee. Let's go back and take a look at it right now.
Quite impressive. You look at his physique, he is really well put together, as really is Ashley Hudson, too.
I'm really looking forward to this match, Chip. Reputations of both men are very large in professional wrestling, and the fact that they're here in Southern States Wrestling and going for this International Cup. Look at the strength in Heinrich there. It's going to be an interesting matchup. I believe these men are not strangers to each other, and it'll be very interesting to see what happens.
Keller and Hudson, as Mark mentions, have a history together. They've met before. They take their feud right here to Southern States Wrestling. Keller, reversal now by Ashley Hudson. Go behind by Hudson. Has the headlock. Nice quick maneuvering by Ashley Hudson as Keller backs him into the ropes and sends him for the ride. Nice shoulder tackle by Heinrich Franz Keller.
Of Keller and the fact that these two have wrestled one another so many times, you'd think Ashley Hudson would realize that he can't match muscles with Keller, and he's going to have to go another route to get the win in advance in this International Cup tournament.
Winner of this match will take on Conan Chris Walker later in this program for the International Cup Tournament title. Quite a prestigious event here in Southern States Wrestling. So we saw Conan Chris Walker moments ago defeat the Luchador in a very controversial match. Meanwhile, this affair, Heinrich Franz Keller and Ashley Hudson, as they lock up once again. You got to think here, Duke, that Keller is going to use all the power that he possesses and try to wear down Ashley Hudson.
Well, I also think that the longer this match goes, the more the advantage goes to the Australian Ashley Hudson, as Keller has the strength advantage, and if he can put Hudson away early, then definitely to his advantage. But the longer the match goes, it's going to wear him down, and Hudson definitely has the advantage in the stamina department.
Mark, you think of wrestlers over the years that have come from Germany and come from Australia, and guys like Baron von Raschke, the Fritz and Valdo von Erichs, and Mario Milano from Australia. There have been a lot of great competitors from both these countries over the years.
Yeah, definitely, Chip. And this Ashley Hudson, he's been teaming up quite a bit with Bill Dundee, sort of almost doing a Fabulous Kangaroos gimmick, coming back into the States with the boomerangs and everything. But this Keller, he sort of reminds me of Dick the Bruiser from back in the 1950s. Body style and the way he moves around the ring, maybe a little bit of Jim the Anvil Neidhart also, except with a lot more mobility than what Neidhart would have. Wouldn't you say, Duke?
Well, I would say definitely a lot more mobility. He is deceptively quick, is Keller, but unable to get the advantage on Hudson as Hudson takes him back down and goes back to that arm. Interesting story about Ashley Hudson. Grew up in Perth, Australia, was a big fan of another native Australian superstar, Bill Dundee. Dundee came to the United States and one of the most well-known wrestlers of all time. Ashley Hudson followed him through magazines, through television, and actually came to the United States, went to Studio City, California, where he trained at Slammer's Wrestling Gym, and now following in Dundee's footsteps, making a name for himself here in the States.
Ashley Hudson from Australia, Heinrich Franz Keller from Germany. And this the second of our two opening matches. That body slam again, but as you notice there, Duke, both times that Keller has attempted this, Ashley Hudson has been able to hang on to the arm and continue with that arm bar, and that hold continues on.
Ashley Hudson latched onto that arm like a koala bear to a tree, not letting Keller take him down, as a matter of fact.
Yeah, I was thinking that too until I came to my senses. Meanwhile, back in the center of the ring, tremendous backflip there and breaking the hold, Heinrich Franz Keller. Once again, that power of Keller.
Looked like
breaking his neck also with that move.
Yeah, Hudson did not land well. I think that move took a lot out of him. And now big suplex by the big German, Heinrich Franz Keller.
And he thinks he's wrapped it up here. Goes for a rather sloppy cover. Got the count of 2. I'd say there are a lot of guys that have not been able to get out of that particular power move by Keller, but Ashley Hudson was able to do it. 10 minutes gone in this match here as the battle rages on. Tremendous body slam, and once again Keller feels that is all she wrote, but he's certainly taking his sweet time here, Duke, about going for a pin.
I think he should have gone for a cover there. Instead, he goes for a big knee, and Hudson able to get out of the way as Keller telegraphed that and took far too much time in setting it up. And now Hudson able to get back up to a vertical base. First one on his feet. Let's see what he does when Keller gets up.
Down is Keller, and there's another big right. Keller drops down again. Now Ashley Hudson, he's kind of thrown the scientific maneuvers out the window as well. Body slams him down. Here goes Ashley Hudson now to the top rope. High-risk maneuver on its way from Ashley Hudson, the high flyer from Australia, landing on Keller, drops him down, but Ashley Hudson as well was not able to land completely the way he wanted to, it looked like, Duke. While Keller's flat on his back, Ashley Hudson's out of the ring.
Well, basically, when you execute a move like that on someone like Keller, Keller's muscle mass is so thick it's like hitting a brick wall, and Hudson just smacked into it and rolled right off and out of the ring.
As Keller went there for the axe handle, Hudson meets him, flipping over, landing down, drops the leg, goes for the cover, gets a count of 2. Did not hook the leg there, Mark, or he might have gotten the victory.
That was a beautiful slingshot leg drop over the ropes. As he throws him off into the ropes, there's a reversal. Drops him down behind. Goes for the Pataclona roll-up.
See what happens here. Got the 2. No, almost. Rob Knight with a counter.
I think he was pulling the tights there, Chip.
I didn't see that, Duke. I'm sure you did. There's a tremendous power slam by Heinrich Franz Keller, and that will do it. Tremendous match here, but the power wills out, and Heinrich Franz Keller is your winner here, the International Cup in Southern States Wrestling.
There you saw action from March 1999 in Kingsport, Tennessee. That event was called March Madness, and I got some news for you here. That's one of the events you're going to be able to see on Powerbomb TV in the new year. That's right, Southern States Wrestling, live full event stuff that nobody has seen unless you lived in this area or were there live, or you lived here in the area and saw it on television back in the 90s and early 2000s. Lots of stuff coming to Powerbomb TV from Southern States Wrestling. Names like Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, Arn Anderson, Jimmy Golden, Robert Fuller, Sherry Martel, and the list of names goes on and on and on. The biggest events, the wildest matches are coming to Powerbomb TV. Go over there and check them out, and I'm going to be announcing when we start there very soon right here on SSW Classics. Now let's take another break, and when we come back, we're going to take a look at 2 young men that came to the United States from the United Kingdom, and we're going after Southern States Wrestling Gold.
Are you looking for classic Southern Wrestling DVDs from the days of promoter Nick Gulas, Southeastern Wrestling, or Continental Wrestling? How about DVDs from Southern States Wrestling featuring the legends of the ring and some of today's top stars? Maybe you are looking for the 3-disc set of Bill Dundee's career and memories, or the 2 published books by Beau James about his life in wrestling. Keep up with the careers and life away from the ring of the award-winning dynamic Wrestling James duo. All of this and a lot more at kingofkingsport.com. That's kingofkingsport.com.
We're back, Southern States Wrestling Classics. Beau James here, and we've been taking a look at the international stars. Just some of them. We've had stars come here from Australia, from the South Pacific, from the United Kingdom, from Canada. We've had a lot of international stars over the years, and what I want to do now is take a look at 2 guys that came here. They were very experienced in the United Kingdom in the European way of wrestling, but they wanted to get experience wrestling American style, so they came here to Southern States Wrestling in November of 1999. Let's go and take a look as the British Knights of Stevie Knight and Kerry Cabrera challenge Roger Anderson Frank Parker, better known as Death and Destruction, for the Southern States Wrestling titles.
Down at ringside, wrestling fans, we've got tag team action in the ring. Death and Destruction, your tag team champions, getting ready to take on a new team here of the British Knights. Stevie Knight and Kerry Cabrero, and that's Stevie Knight, one half of the British Knights, in the ring, getting ready to lock up with Roger Anderson. This should be a great match here in Southern States Wrestling. Fans, we're glad you're tuned in, turned on, and checking out Southern States Wrestling action from wherever you may be joining us, as Roger Anderson and Stevie Knight have locked up collar and elbow. Knight pulls Anderson back into the corner, and Anderson brushing him off there, complaining possibly of a hair pull. Your official for this matchup is the one and only referee Mike DiMuzio, as Anderson complaining vehemently here about having his hair pulled. I didn't see it, and kind of doubt it. I've got these great competitors joining us from England would resort to such tactics right off the bat, but one never knows. Stevie Knight there with a nice arm bar on Roger Anderson, makes the tag. Here comes his partner, Kerry Cabrero, making his way in off the ropes, as Cabrero winding up on that arm of Roger Anderson. Cabrero and Knight wrestle in the UWA over in England, and they're over here in the States on a tour. And joining you here is Southern States Wrestling, always bringing you some of the best independent wrestling action you'll find anywhere. As tag's been made once again by the British Knights, as they have stayed focused on the arm of Roger Anderson, one half of the tag team champions, Death and Destruction. And of course, that looks like the man in black down there poking his 2 cents worth into this matchup at ringside. The man in black in the corner of Death and Destruction. And of course, PJ Sharp, the manager of Death and Destruction, as Roger Anderson has been grounded at this point by this new team of the British Knights. Great up-and-coming tag team as they've made the exchange once again, as Kerry Cabrero is winding up on the arm of Roger Anderson, got him down now, working that arm over, and they have stayed focused on the arm of Roger Anderson. Great tag team offense being displayed by the British Knights. Anderson's had about enough of it, bulls his way back into his corner, makes the tag. Here comes Frank the Tank Parker into the ring, putting the boots to Kerry Cabrero, giving him a little bit of good old Southern United States Wrestling, and corked him with an all-American right hand, that's for sure, as Anderson now got him in the corner, choking him, and I believe the man in black down there giving him an assist, as Kerry Cabrero is being introduced to Southern States Wrestling in a hard way at this point at the hands of tag team champions Frank the Tank Parker and Roger Anderson, as Tank now has got Kerry Cabrero set up. Hard shot to the top of the head right there. That's a good all-American closed fist, as Parker explains to DiMuzio as an open hand. Of course, DiMuzio accepts that, but Frank the Tank Parker, great competitor. You got to give the guy his due, whether you love him or hate him. He and Anderson make a fantastic tag team, and there you see, as the referee is tied up over in the far corner, they are taking advantage and just putting the boots to Kerry Cabrero here in this matchup in Southern States Wrestling, as Anderson now having some words with DiMuzio, as Cabrero is trying to make his way back to make the tag to his partner, Stevie Knight, but that just wasn't happening. Anderson there, a hard forearm to the back, makes the tag. Here comes Frank the Tank Parker back into the ring for another great tag team combination. Caught him right there with a big kick right to the abdomen, bent his man over, as Parker now is just resorting to choking him right across that top rope, hands him off to the man in black, and has got referee Mike DiMuzio tied up, but it looked like Stevie Knight had about enough of that, and he came over and gave the man in black one for his efforts, as Cabrero ducked that clothesline, and a second one comes across. Nice cross body block there by Kerry Cabrero. Got a 2 count out of it before Roger Anderson came in for the save. And I tell you what, the British Knights now turning the momentum of this matchup around, as they've made the exchange. Stevie Knight is in, and Roger Anderson winding up on his arm, as the British Knights here taking it to Frank the Tank Parker and Roger Anderson in this matchup here in Southern States Wrestling. And wow, fans, what an hour it's been this week with Southern States Wrestling. I tell you what, after just talking to Beau James and listening to that situation, Christmas night in Kingsport is going to be absolutely incredible. And PJ Sharp, man, oh man, I do not envy you, buddy. Let me tell you, because you're not going to be in for a Merry Christmas this year, I can assure you. As Roger Anderson now has made the exchange, he's got Stevie Knight in there. Oh my, Knight got out of that corner just in time, and Anderson got hung out to dry there, as Stevie Knight now has got Roger Anderson in a bad way. His partner, Kerry Cabrero, comes in. The British Knights working over one half of the tag team champions here in Southern States Wrestling. Roger Anderson is not in a good way at this point. Knight comes across. Oh, missed that elbow. Anderson was able to get out of there. He needs to make that tag, get Frank the Tank Parker back in the ring, as he's taken quite a bit of punishment here in the past couple of minutes. Roger Anderson and Frank the Tank Parker, Death and Destruction, continuing their assault on the British Knights. Kerry Cabrero in a bad way now, as Roger Anderson heading up to that top turnbuckle. He's going to try to put him out here, I'm sure, as big Roger Anderson making his way to that top rope. But Kerry Cabrero right there comes back. He caught him on that top rope. Oh my, what a hard body slam. Comes across, makes the tag to his partner Stevie Knight. Knight's in a house of fire. Hard right hands to the top of the head of both members of Death and Destruction. He's got him wound up. Look out, double noggin knocker right there, as Death and Destruction are in trouble, no doubt about it, as the British Knights have turned the momentum of this matchup around. Do-si-do, around we go. And Anderson, Frank the Tank Parker right there, caught Kerry Cabrero coming across with a divorce court type maneuver and could have separated that shoulder. That very well may be what happened right there, as Cabrero has rolled out of the ring, leaving his partner Stevie Knight to the mercy of Death and Destruction, and these guys don't know the word mercy. So Stevie Knight's in a bad way now, as Frank the Tank Parker up to that second rope, down with a big double axe handle blow right to the arm and shoulder of Stevie Knight. And oh my, wait a minute, Ricky Harrison's hit the ring. Ricky Harrison's hit the ring. He's come down as a substitute to fill in for the injured Kerry Cabrero here in this matchup. The tag team titles are on the line here, ladies and gentlemen, in Southern States Wrestling, as Death and Destruction are not going to be happy with Ricky Harrison up there in the corner of Stevie Knight, waiting to make that tag if he can make it over there. As Roger Anderson now pointing this out, the referee Mike DeMuzio complaining vehemently about this, while Frank the Tank Parker is working over Stevie Knight in their corner. And I tell you what, Knight's in no man's land right now, as Death and Destruction have got him hurt, they've got him wounded, and now they're going to try to put him out. He ducked that double clothesline, comes across with one of his own, and he took Frank and Roger down right there. Stevie Knight has got to get over and make that tag. If he can make a tag to Harrison, they may be able to put him out here. There's no telling. Knight comes across. There's the tag. Here comes Ricky Harrison. Ricky Harrison in with some stinging left hands. I mean, he's in there just nailing both of them. He's got them going. Ricky Harrison took the tag, and he's in now working over Frank and Roger. And man, Harrison has got plenty of dues to repay Frank the Tank Parker and Roger Anderson. You saw what happened earlier in this hour, as Ricky Harrison now getting a piece of Death and Destruction, and you know he's glad to be in there getting some of that. But Frank the Tank Parker right there just got him from behind, as Roger Anderson and Frank the Tank Parker now got him set up. Harrison ducked that double clothesline, comes across, got Frank with the drop kick. Referee's in. Roger's being held up by the British Knights, and we've got a pinfall in the ring. This match is for the tag team titles, and it appears as we've got new champions here, as referee Eric Foster presents the title, one of the title belts, to Ricky Harrison. Oh my, it looks like we've got new tag team champions here in Southern States Wrestling. The British Knights and Ricky Harrison have defeated Death and Destruction for the tag team titles. Oh my gracious, what an afternoon of wrestling action. But Ken Bowles has come in the ring now. Commissioner Ken Bowles is in. Wait a minute, he just took the title from Harrison and hands it back to PJ. The decision's been reversed. Oh, I can't believe this. Fans, we're back right after this timeout.
There you saw a controversial ending. If memory serves me correct, Ken Bowles made the decision that the titles could not change hands because Ricky Harrison was not on the team that started the match there. So that's how that ended up, and the reason the titles were taken away and given back to Anderson and Parker. Now let's talk about next week right here on this program. We're going to take a look at some of the most popular wrestlers that ever came through Southern States Wrestling over the years. I'm talking about Ricky Morton of the Rock and Roll Express. I'm talking about Jimmy Valiant, the Boogie Woogie Man. I'm talking about Ricky Harrison. And you never know who else we're going to show right here, so you're going to have to tune in next Sunday night right here on KingofKingsport.com and our YouTube. Thank you for watching. Happy New Year. God bless each and every one of you.